Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous, comes to you with some Gold League goodiness out of this map that I forgot the name of, so I'm going to let Cadoink introduce it.
Hello everyone, spawning up in the top left just because I know Boisterous starts with the red, we have the blue Terran player Amzinoji on Entombed Valley, a very common map that we see in the ladder quite often and in tournaments quite often, and therefore we generally remember the name. And in the bottom right, as the red Zerg, we have Quebexico. Oh, what a baller. This is another one of those moments where I read the name and realize how clever it is. Quebexico, the red Zerg player, representing both Canada and Mexico all at once. Born two places at the same time. Boisterous, how's it going?
It's going quite well, and I do believe he's actually representing French Canada and Mexico, so he even has like that little bit of French flavor in him, which, you know, it's interesting. Very
cultured player we have here.
Yeah. The name rolls right off the tongue. Rolls right off the tongue too. Quebexico.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot better than Amzinoji. Amzinoji.
Amzinoji? I don't know.
Something like that. Okay, everyone watching this cast, make note of this overlord in the bottom that's moving to the left. I'm going to have something to say about him much later on.
Ooh, wow, heavy hinting.
Heavy hinting.
I would just like to point out that I'm the more professional caster, and I actually didn't watch this replay before we started. Cadoink was all like, I don't want to lag during the replay commentary, because even though, you know, we have this entire system where it doesn't really get that confusing, we don't need to read off timestamps, I don't know, I still don't want to lag. And, you know, I think that was really just your excuse.
Everyone make note of this SCV. Make note of this SCV moving across.
That actually is a really funny shape.
Do you see the straight line of Fog of War?
That's awesome.
It's so cool. I just like to say that even though I ×8 my replays, I don't watch them. Like, maybe I'll glance at the minimap, but I usually don't pay attention to the chat, like who GG's, and I often don't even watch the game, so.
We have the SCV actually just humping the barracks wall right now, which is kind of interesting. Oh, he stopped.
Oh. He wanted in. Did you notice SCVs have legs?
Yeah. I don't know why they have legs. They never touch down. Actually,
they have little feet.
They touch down when they're mining, I guess. Kind of. I don't know. They're like flying units.
Yeah, they are. They're known as in Brood War. I think they were known as floating or something. They had some sort of tag that was like floating.
I don't think they did.
I think they did, man. In Brood War, they had like some, you know how you can be mechanical and you could be ground. And excuse me, I'm just like reading stuff that doesn't make sense. You could be mechanical or you could be bio.
Yeah.
And SCVs are actually biomechanical. They have both those tags.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom, biomechanical.
Yeah.
I thought they had like a hovering or something in Brood War, something weird.
What would that have helped them against?
Nothing. It was just, I don't know. I could be totally lying.
I think you're totally lying.
I don't know. Today is ramble mode day. Today is
ramble mode. We haven't even talked about the game yet.
We haven't.
They're both playing like exceedingly standard. Well,
dude,
maybe not the 3cc.
Dude, three CCs right off the bat, and then gas.
I was talking mostly about
Amzinoji has balls of steel. Oh, and 3 hatches.
Yeah. Well, 3 hatches is standard.
Yeah.
More hatches, the better. It's like a Six Flags commercial. More flags, more fun.
That's kind of how Zerg plays. They're kind of like an amusement park.
Yep.
No, they're really fun until you get sick, and then.
Yeah, until you realize that the spawning pool is not a water park.
Yeah, it's just like a pool of acid with like a hole in it.
I've lost a couple feet to that. It always looks so entertaining. Like the Zerglings are all morphing in there and they're all bitey. They look so cute.
Zerg, man, they're super cute.
I know.
Wow, look at this. We have our Terran player moving his command center, both his command centers at the same time, which is extremely uncommon. Usually when you go for fast CC, use the 3rd CC to call down mules and to saturate your main and your nat quicker. And then once your main and your nat are saturated and you feel safe, then you can move across the map. But this is kind of very bold because he hasn't, I don't think he's even scouted his opponent. In fact,
he does have balls of steel. He has 5 Marines on the field right now.
Wow. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
But he is building a planetary, so that's a little bit more acceptable in this situation.
Yeah, I guess. Because, Planetary's one-shot Zerglings at 3-3.
Yeah, and there's, like, absolutely nothing that, that Zerg could do to kill Planetary, like, this early. He would waste so many lings,
Yeah.
He'd have to be doing, like, a Roach all-in sort of deal, and even then it would be very cost-ineffective just to kill Planetary this early in the game.
Especially considering the amount of SCVs that are going to be on the field compared to drones in a couple of seconds with
exactly
3 production of 3 planetaries and stuff.
That odd moment when Terran isn't afraid to expand. I can tell you that it is odd because Terrans never feel safe expanding. At least I don't. Well, I feel safe in the beginning, but after I have my natural, I'm like so apprehensive to expand. I'm like he's gonna kill all my bases with all his Zerglings.
Well, Zerglings are scary. They're massive dogs.
Oh yeah, Zerglings are super good, man. And we have some Zerglings going across the map at this time. Gonna check the watchtower and make sure that nothing is going on there. There are no units. Just kind of clearing that out. I like his Overlord placement. He's got one up in the north that he can pop into the third or the main, and then one in the south that he can pop into the natural in the main. And then I also like these two kind of in the middle in areas where it'll be harder to pick them off. But if a dropship, a medevac flies over that, there's a pretty good chance you'll spot it. So I like the position Quebexico's in.
Yeah. Is it just me or does Amzinoji have, like, no production yet?
Dude, Amzinoji's production is way better than Quebexico's, actually, because Quebexico should be at way more drones than he's at. He's only at 40, well, now he's at 55, but...
Yeah, he's producing a lot of drones.
Yeah, I feel like he should be up at about the 60-minute mark if he was on top of his larva injects. We see his queens have quite a bit of energy on him, so he could be in a much better position drone-wise. So production-wise, I think that the Terran player's doing alright as far as that's concerned. I mean, he's getting up a lot of barracks, he's getting up his siege tanks in his siege mode and +1 stem. He's also getting 6 turrets, which is extremely excessive, but this is Gold League, and you don't really have to be the most efficient, because if you just simply don't die to mutas, then yeah, you're doing pretty good. So
I just love whenever Terran players play a campaign, because this is what I do in campaign. I just surround my base with missile turrets and like bunkers, and then I macro and go up to 200, and then I push and win.
Oh, that Overseer got so incredibly denied. Just ran right into that wall of turrets. And yeah, I agree with you. Did you beat the StarCraft 2 campaign?
Yes. Not on Brutal yet.
Right. Do you know, do you remember the mission Haven? Where there's like a mothership destroying all these things and you had to kill like all the Nexi and then kill the mothership?
Yes. But I went the other route.
Right. Someone posted a video, of him beating it on Brutal in like under 5 minutes.
What?
Yeah, he used like 6 Vikings to kill like 3 Nexuses.
That's awesome.
It was brilliant. Oh man, today's tangent day. But
Dude,
nothing, like literally, literally nothing is happening. I mean, the Terran player's just kind of massing up his Marines and his...
we have a few Marines going down to this hatchery at the 4th base and going to get absolutely destroyed by a pack of Zerglings.
Yeah, we did. Nice.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of action in all my rambling.
That's okay.
But Quebexico is getting up his infestors. He's got that pathogen glands, and he's going to be able to fungal the crap out of those Marines.
Oh, he has like 8 infestors right now. That is a lot of infestors.
Yep.
However, he doesn't really have any upgrades for these Zerglings, and Zerglings are only really effective once you get them up to massive upgrade numbers. He does have 14 Banelings on the way, which is pretty nice, but still. I think 3-3 Zerglings.
I think he needs more lings. He definitely should not be at the same supply, which he's at the exact same supply as his opponent right now.
Yeah.
And so, considering his queens are at high energy, I love that he's putting down a macro hatch in his third. I would love to see a macro hatch in his main as well. And then I'd also like to see more use of his 4th base. It looks like Terran players moving out across the map. There could be engagement here.
Yeah, and I think this engagement is going to be pretty heavily Zerg favored, considering the fact that all of these Banelings are exploding on the Marines. Ow. Wow, that was a lot of Marines that went down right there. And these siege tanks are not getting into siege mode, which is not going to be nice for them, as these Zerglings just managed to pick everything off.
Yeah, and you see, this is the problem I was identifying. Thanks, Quebexico says, wow.
Wow.
Bold move, BM. This is what I'm talking about. If Quebexico had a bunch more Lings here, he could put on pressure right now. And he could actually probably win the game. So, the fact that he's stuck with all these pretty much useless infestors and like a small clump of Zerglings is kind of hurting him a lot. I love that he's rallying more Zerglings across the map now. Love to see even more use of his macro hatch and more Zerglings. Just more Zerglings. And his creep spread's kind of abysmal.
I'm kind of surprised to see him going for a Greater Spire. I'm actually currently a massive proponent of the Ultralisk. It's way better than Broodlords in my perspective, especially in the Gold League, like the Platinum and Gold League. People don't know how to deal with Ultralisks. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, Ultras are very difficult to deal with, but Broodlords are also difficult to deal with as well, and I think it's going to actually work out for him in this game specifically, because his opponent is currently building Marauders and isn't even making use of his starport, so there's no kind of indication of Vikings on the way, and of course Quebexico has no way of knowing this, but oh, and we have a little bit of drop on the bottom side.
Yeah, there shouldn't be an issue there. He's splitting up the Zerglings quite nicely. Maybe not as nicely as I thought he was, but okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be just fine. But, you know, Broodlords, I think, are pretty acceptable, especially in the lower leagues and in the upper leagues. I mean, they're just good units as well. I think that what's really strong about Ultras is the potential tech switch that you can use with them. I think that's one of the most fantastic plays, as we have the Terran player moving out across the map once again.
Yeah, we have Siege Tanks actually sieging up properly. He's going to be doing a little bit of leapfrogging here. He's definitely not going to fall into the same trap he did of just running into the Zalnaga Tower and losing everything he owns. And there is a nice scam managing to snipe off a couple of Zerglings and definitely forcing that Zerg player back. And there is, oh my god, these Marines so ballsy, just running in and sniping off infestors as more Zerglings get rallied to the front. Really, we're just kind of reaching a stalemate as both of these players hit a position. We have a little bit of the Zerg army moving up the flank, and here they come, and they're just running into the siege tank line, which is not exactly where they want to be. There is going to be a whole lot of Marines going down here, but honestly, these siege tanks are going to do so much damage, and these Banelings just aren't going to be able to be cost-effective against these units. He does manage to clean it up, but both players lost essentially all of their army there. And the tech switch is not quite ready for Quebexico yet. I don't think he has anything on the way currently.
Yeah, that actually, that engagement was actually in favor of the Terran player, as we have the Terran dropping on the south side of the map, killing off a good bit of Zerglings and some drones here. And of course Quebexico will eventually clean that up, but he really needs to split his Zerglings. There he goes, able to kill off those last few Marines. But yeah, that engagement was definitely in the Terran player's favor, and I would have loved to see the Zerg player just kind of run around his opponent, you know? The other option is, of course, to have creep spread that went across the map, and then that engagement would have been a lot better because the Zerglings and Banelings would have landed. Also, if you notice, there were very minimal, if any, fungal growths on the army, and, you know, that's going to help kill everything just a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, fungals, the issue was that fungals wouldn't have really helped out that much because nothing was really being split. Everything was just dying to Banelings. And we have 7 Ultralisks on the way. So basically all Amzinoji has to do is kind of fight this off for a little bit longer. He's throwing down fungals onto the siege tanks. A bit of an interesting decision there. Here comes the massive amount of Zerglings coming into attack, but they're all going for the Marines instead of the siege tanks, which isn't the prime target. There they are swinging in for the siege tanks, and all the siege tanks do go down, which takes most of the bite out of this push. And here comes the Brofester hit squad going after the planetary. So many eggs going down. And let's see how much damage can it do to it. Oh, none. Yeah, no, planetaries are good.
Yeah, they are. Planetaries are stupidly good. But the important thing here is that he saw these 4 factories, so I would love to see him put down a Roach Warren and start getting some Roaches in with those infestors, because Zerglings aren't going to be... Oh, well, no, never mind. I actually think Zerglings would be pretty good against Thors.
Yeah, especially with those Ultralisks.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what I was thinking. Looks like some Zerglings coming and trying to deny this planetary, but it, of course, will destroy all these Lings with relative ease, and with the help of this nice little Marine
army. Here comes a little bit of an Ultralisk push, but they're just running into Marines. And they will cut through most of this army, but this is definitely not cost-effective for our Zerg player. He should be able to clean this up, maybe now. No, his Ultralisks decided to attack the planetary instead. So we see him kind of sacrificing 7 Ultralisks there for what was essentially a big ball of Marines.
Yeah, that was very painful
effective.
to watch.
Yeah,
Quebexico,
this is kind of the point
man.
where we need 3-3.
Yeah, Quebexico, I feel like, was in a very good position in the very, very initial
Yeah.
stages of this game. And I think that he just didn't take the right steps to take advantage of those kind of, I don't know, those kind of situations. I think he suffers from something that I suffer a lot on the ladder, which are very bad engagements, and I think
Yeah.
that's been hurting him the most. And we have a massive Hellion hit squad moving down to this base. There's not actually that many drones there, but he's just kind of adding insult to injury by killing all these off.
Yeah,
Might even be able to get this
a little bit of a
clean.
drop happening in the natural base, but it is going to be forced off by this little pack of Zerglings. It killed off a reasonable amount of what you call it, drones, but you know, it ended up not being overly effective. And here these Zerglings are going to finish picking it off. The tank, actually the tank gets picked up, maybe? No, the tank died. But that's okay.
No, there's a tank in the medevac.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't the one that was low health. I don't think that tank ever got
okay.
dropped. And we have Broodlords now coming out for Quebexico, but Broodlords are just so slow to deal with this mech play.
Yeah, it is. It's well, mech's pretty slow, but Hellions are not, and that's
Yeah.
kind of the problem. These Hellions are running around just trashing drone lines.
Yeah, and he doesn't
He's
have
gonna
any
clean
units
him
that
up.
can deal with him because Zerglings are just really get roasty toasted.
Yeah. So the biggest problem I think that Quebexico is suffering from is very low gas mining, because all the drones were picked
Yeah.
off at his 4th, all the drones at his 5th were picked off. All he really has are some drones at his 6th. His gas income, if you look at the income tab, is actually pretty low compared to the Terran player, so he just can't support a Broodlord army.
Yeah, this is definitely the point where you need something that's amazingly cost effective, and Broodlords without the right amount of support just are not. And we'll see that in this engagement right now. As these Broodlords are just getting picked off by everything. They managed to kill off the primary front line of Marines, but I'm not sure how much damage they'll actually be able to even do to these Thors that are just going to just be sniping them off. And all of these Infestors are essentially going to be bait after that, and he just does not have the Broodlord numbers to deal with this sort of ball.
Yeah, one of the big problems he's suffering from is not having Zerglings to deal with the Thors. You know, he can fungal the Thors down, move his Broodlords back, and shoot his Marines forward, or his Zerglings forward to try to pick them off. And
Yeah.
he kind of had 2/3 of his mixture, but he didn't have those Zerglings, and he also didn't have enough.
Broodlords?
Enough Broodlords.
He kind of just like dropped out in the middle of the sentence. And
Yeah,
we do
sorry.
have this engagement happening right now with Zerglings pouring in from all over the map at a staggered pace, which is essentially exactly what siege tank drivers pray for. You know, siege tank drivers do pray. That is what they pray for.
Yeah.
What kind of gods do you think they have in the StarCraft universe? God, this is tangent time.
The Zelnaga, of course.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of Broodlords still left, actually, doing a good bit of damage, but not enough, certainly. I'd love to see some Queens down here transfusing, as his Queens have full energy, but that's also not the case.
Yeah.
And Quebexico's in a lot of trouble here. I don't know what much he can do. He has even Infestors up in the top.
Oh my
aren't doing
god. All right, well, Quebexico leaves with a little bit of flavor there. Definitely ending this game on a high note, I would say.
Yeah.
And
Terran
Quebexico,
OP. Yeah.
all I can say is upgrades, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, upgrades are super good. We can, let's see if I can find a drone. Yeah, he only had 0-1 upgrades for his Zerglings, so...
Oh, actually, drones don't get attack upgrades. He had one.
Oh, do they not?
Yeah, he had one too. Nope.
Oh, he did have 2-1. What the heck? Drones don't get upgrades?
Yep.
SCVs? Oh, what?
Nope.
This is blowing my mind right now. I thought that SCVs could get strong.
I just
I've
realized
been
that...
playing StarCraft wrong my whole life.
Wait, have you been attacking with SCVs?
No, not at all.
All right,
I've been going the 3 base into fast +1 SCV all-in.
Interesting.
And now I realize I can just cut out the...
SCVs. You could probably just go for like Marines.
Yeah. Or I could just not do the engineering bay and have a few extra SCVs to all in.
Genius.
Yeah,
All right, well,
right?
we should probably get off this tangent and get more into where they can find any of your videos, Cadoink.
Oh yeah, if you guys would like to check out my videos, please go to youtube.com/user/Cadoink Studios. it would mean a lot if you would check out some of my replays, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I have recently become the official caster for Non Esports, which is a German StarCraft 2 team. They're a very excellent player, all Master League. And we have a YouTube channel there. So please check that one out as well. You can find it on my channel or youtube.com/user/non-esports-official. Or just search non-esports into YouTube. And that would mean a lot to us at Non. And of course, subscribe to Boisterous, and he'll tell you all the details about his channel.
And you guys can check out my channel over at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Also, if you would like your games commentated, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And if you would have any preference on how they're commentated with or without Cadoink, you can just add that into the email. And I expect somebody to be vehemently against you, Cadoink, just by the way.
That's fine. There's got to be one.
There's got to be haters. It's the internet.
Yep. Haters gonna hate.
All right, guys, this is Boisterous.
This is Cadoink.
Signing out.